Welcome to one of the biggest crossover events in Power Ranger and Kamen Rider fanfiction history, with almost 30 storylines crossing over. These storylines are written and read to you guys across multiple platforms and given to you by the 3 Ranger Bros Studios, which is hosted by Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger, Cosplay Dude 637, and myself, Ty Tiger. So prepare to dive into a storyline that not only crosses over all these stories, but hosts a threat that is willing to take down the entire multiverse as we know it. Let us begin. Rangers and Riders Unite. War for the Multiverse. Part 9. The Hero's Final Stand. Dura stood there, with 3 men who had stolen food from the marketplace knelt before him. His sword in hand, he placed the tip of his blade on the shoulder of one of the thieves. By punishment, I exile you 3 to the grey desert sands. If you return to any planet, I will slit your throats in front of many. Durus growled. He turned around and the crowd behind him cheered and clapped and started chanting his name. Suddenly, a massive hologram appeared, and Durus stood there stunned. He recognized the chest piece with the Cornish flag embedded in it. A flag he made sure that in his new Prime Universe was never a thing. The Red Ranger suit, the Cornish-themed helmet, and the dragon dagger slotted on his waist. How are you alive? I got rid of you! Durus growled with a huff.
Hello everyone, my name is the Red Cornish Ranger, a hero that none of you will know, because your Lord and Saviour made sure that my universe, my planet, my home was erased, and I'm not the only one who was affected by your hero. The entire multiverse and all of its protectors, every Power Ranger, Ultra Ranger, and Kamen Rider was erased from existence to fuel his twisted fantasy. And if he is watching this message, I am broadcasting across the universe now. I am here to tell him this. We are here. We are waiting. Earth, well, what is left of it. Universe 113. We shall see you there.
The Red Cornish Ranger stated. Then the hologram fizzled away. Durus let out a blood-curdling roar and opened a portal. He stormed through it and walked out into Universe 113. He looked around and noticed an Earth untouched. It was empty of all human and animal life, and it was still full of colours and plants. It still had a sun, and the planet was still intact. He walked around, baffled. The thought played in the back of his mind. Why was he allowed to attack this universe, but he wasn't allowed to drain anything from it? A question that always lingered. Then before him 4 men stood. Jason, Mark, Dante, and Jacob. How are you all alive? I killed you! Durus roared.
One thing you have to learn about being a hero, ranger, or rider is that you can never give up on anyone.
Jason snapped.
No matter the town, planet, universe, or otherwise.
Mark said. Everyone deserves saving. Dante nodded. And we will stop anyone like you who brings harm to the innocent. Jacob barked. We have done this dance many times. I kicked all of your sorry asses across the multiverse. You couldn't even handle my army, let alone me, Durus said with a slight chuckle. Suddenly, as far as the eye could see, covering every street and rooftop, Durus summoned his new army of Fadenizers, each one a faded, bland, grey combination of Ultra Rangers and Kamen Riders. Ultra Riders. Thought I would mix it up a bit. Durus chuckled.
See, we knew you were going to do this. Now, I am the last Ultra Ranger, Mark and Dante being the last 2 Power Rangers, and Jacob being the last Kamen Rider. In the whole multiverse, we knew we needed an army of our own.
Jason said with a slight grin. Oh, really? I wiped out every single ranger and rider in existence. Where are you gonna find an army? Duras asked. Mark then pressed his communicator.
Flabber! Ready when you are.
Mark said. Suddenly, in a blink of an eye, behind the four was an army of putties, cogs, mummies, stickers, and more foot soldiers than you could count. The massive army was formed by different villain factions. The villain army and the Fadenizers ran at each other, and the Fadenizers had no morphing grid energy, ultra grid energy, or common rider energy to drain. The foot soldiers were built or created to fight rangers and riders, so they had the upper hand. A door formed out of nowhere, before the four heroes. It opened eerily, and out of the darkness several figures walked out. Some of them were recognized by the heroes. Stingnet, the king of the cyber realm, his niece and right-hand woman, Davindigo, the royal blue ranger, also known as Nephis, the beast with multiple hearts and multiple forms, Lucicon, joined by his wife, son and brother. A version of Mark, twisted and ruthless, also went by the name Lord Trelawney. A version of Zed stood amongst them. A version of Zed who truly believed he was the best Zed in the multiverse, who dubbed himself the Lord Zed. And leading them was Rastva, known to those scared of him as the Banker. And of course, he was joined by his family.
This is only a temporary truce. You know that, right? As soon as the multiverse is back in its rightful state, me and the Ultra Rangers will kick your ass.
Jason mocked.
Why, yes, young Jason. I'm aware of the agreement. And don't worry. We all have agreed no backstabbing. We don't want to upset the chess master now, do we?
Rastva growled. Keep it that way, Dante sniped, glaring at Lucicon. Boy, you understand why Universe 113 was left untouched? Lucicon asked. No, I don't, but we'll soon find out, Dante replied. Rastva and all the other villains drew their weapons or summoned their magic, and each one dove into the fight against the Fadenizers, joining their foot soldiers. Rastva quickly gazing at Mark for a mere moment before joining in the fight himself. Right, Fadenizers are busy. Smart move, by the way, using your foes to beat them, Jacob stated as he looked at the three rangers. It keeps them occupied. Now come on, we got Duras to deal with, Dante said. The four heroes ran up and joined Duras, who had floated onto a bridge. I shall rid my universe of the likes of you cockroaches. Rangers and riders are a curse. Nothing but colourful fools playing hero, destroying everyone's lives, their homes, their jobs, their families. And when it's too tough, you run, Duras growled.
When are you going to get it through your thick skull? We are not the heroes from your universe. We are different.
Mark snapped back. You are all the same. And now you will join your fallen comrades, Duras muttered. In a flash of black and gold, his Ranger and Rider hybrid armor formed around him. Mark held out his power morpher, Jacob slipped on his wizard ring and held it in front of his rider belt, Dante flipped open his growl phone and pressed the center button and held it to his ear, and Jason held out his ultra morpher. They all yelled out their morphing call and henshin, and each one morphed, and once again Duras stood before the red Ultra Ranger, the silver Wild Force Ranger, the red Cornish Ranger, and Kamen Rider Wizard. Alright guys, we have to give A some time. The more time he has, the better, the silver Wild Force Ranger stated.
We don't give up. We're here to win this.
The red Cornish Ranger nodded.
Come on, team! Let's show this freak what being a hero is all about!
The red Ultra Ranger quipped. They all then ran at Duras, who in turn charged at them. You should have died, Duras roared.
Death has tried taking me before, and each time I have had a reason to say no. And today, that has not changed.
the Red Cornish Ranger stated. Duras summoned his sword and swung it down. Both the Red Rangers summoned their swords in return, and Duras's heavy blade collided with Saba and the Ultra Sword. The sound vibrated, echoed throughout the battlefield. Comrade Wizard jumped into the air and summoned a fiery glyph. Multiple firebolts rained down. Both the Red Ranger pushed back and bolted backwards, allowing the firebolts to bombard Duras. Then, as Kamen Rider Wizard descended, he swapped rings and a blue glyph appeared below him, and he shimmered through it. His suit went from his fiery red form to his gracious water form. The Silver Wild Force Ranger rolled to one side and aimed his Lunar Q on blaster mode and opened fire. Multiple blasts hit Duras. Duras held out his hand and caught one of the blasts and threw it back at the Silver Ranger. It hit him in the chest, throwing him onto his back. The Ultra Ranger ran his finger over his sword and the blade started to glow red. He bolted forward and slashed Duras several times. He then found his footing and caught the blade and kicked the Ultra Ranger back. The Red Cornish Ranger threw Saba. The blade struck Duras, then it floated there and shot laser beams from its eyes. Then, whilst Duras was distracted with the floating blade, the Red Cornish Ranger came in quick and hard, slashing Duras with the Dragon Dagger. Duras grabbed Saba and swung it, slashing the Red Cornish Ranger with it. Kamen Rider Wizard jumped in with his fists encased in balls of swirling water and smacked Duras in the face, which sent him flying back, off the bridge and collided with a nearby van. The Red Cornish Ranger picked up Saba and both his weapons started glowing. He flipped forward and swung both weapons. An energy wave rippled off of both of them, one green and one white. Both energy waves flew and hit Duras, causing the van to explode. Duras climbed out of the fire, laughing manically. The Silver Ranger landed between the Kamen Rider and the Red Cornish Ranger and swung his Lunar Q, creating a green veil which trapped Duras in place. He then placed 3 animal crystals on the green energy construct and extended his Lunar Q. This one's for Adam, Luca, Chloe, and everyone else, the Silver Ranger muttered. He then aimed his Lunar Q and struck the 3 crystal balls. The 3 bolted forward as they became encased in white energy. Each one struck Duras with a powerful force. Before Duras could react or retaliate, the Red Cornish Ranger ran in, and whilst he played a tune on the green dragon flute, the dagger blade started to glow. He extended his arm, and the energy construct of the dragon's sword tail formed around the blade. The Red Cornish Ranger swung the dagger, the tail followed, striking Duras. Kamen Rider Wizard then swapped rings once again. A yellow glyph appeared under his feet and travelled up his body, changing his water form to his steady earth form. 2 small glyphs appeared in each hand, and Kamen Rider Wizard summoned the ground around Duras to shift, forcing Duras upright and wrapping him in an earth pillar, prisoning his body completely, trapped underneath the concrete, leaving only his head and shoulders free. His mixed and matched horrific excuse of a ranger suit phased away from him, leaving Duras in his natural human state. The Red Ultra Ranger landed before Duras. "You will not win, Ultra Ranger!" Duras hissed. The Red Ultra Ranger leaned forward, his helmet centimeters away from Duras' face.
"You have already lost. Look around you. Your army has fallen,"
the Red Ultra Ranger hissed. Duras looked around the buildings and streets around him. Lord Trelawney removed his blade from 2 dead Fadenizers at once. Lucecon held the head of a Fadenizer in his hand as the body laid by his feet. The Royal Blue Ranger sheathed her blade, and the Fadenizers in front of her all split into several pieces, falling to the floor. The Vendigo let go of a Fadenizer. The virus she had released inside of it took over, and it exploded on the spot. Stingnet retracted his cyber whip. 5 Fadenizers dropped to the ground, each one with a massive hole in their chest. Rasva held the Fadenizer in the air. His touch alone killed it instantly. Their generals and foot soldiers had completely eradicated the Fadenizers from existence. "How? But I had it all figured out," Duras muttered. The Ultra Ranger's hands started glowing, and he rammed them into Duras. His hands phased into his chest. He then pulled out 2 power coins. He tossed both of them to the Red Cornish Ranger and the Silver Wild Force Ranger. They caught their coins, and the Red Cornish Ranger's placed his coin in his belt buckle, and the 2 coins phased into one. Then the power sword reappeared in his hand.
Back to action.
The Red Cornish Ranger nodded. The Silver Ranger demorphed, and Dante's power coin and Growlphone faded together, and his power morpher appeared in his hand once more. He held it out and morphed into the Black Mighty Morphin Power Ranger once again. "Ah, damn, feeling good, bro," the Black Ranger agreed. Duras sat there, tears filling his eyes as he stared into the sky. I almost had it. I almost had the perfect universe. And yet, I failed again. I'm sorry, Duras pleaded. The Red Ultra Ranger, with his glowing hands, grabbed Duras and pulled him free of his rock entrapment.
You have failed. Now make it right. Bring everyone, everything, every planet, animal, beast, every single thing that draws breath that you took, each life, each ranger, ultra, power, or otherwise, even common riders. You put them back. Now!
The Red Ultra Ranger ordered. Duras nodded, and without a word, his eyes became rainbow-coloured, and there was a massive flash of white. Jason, Mark, Dante, and Jacob all opened their eyes. Jason looked around, and they stood in Universe 113, and life was normal. It was as if nothing had happened, that a war had not just occurred. Everyone was hugging each other and cheering just for the sake of it, just to celebrate life itself. The four of them all exhaled slowly.
You think Ace was able to do it this time?
Mark asked. We can only hope, Jacob noted. Jason turned to Dante.
We will have time to celebrate. We gotta go. It ain't over yet.
Jason said, placing his hand on Dante's shoulder. Trust me, I know. Let's end this once and for all, Dante said. Mark opened a portal and the four of them walked through it and they entered Universe 19. The command center had returned to its usual place. They walked in and behind the computer team all welcomed them home.
I don't mean to cut a warm welcome short, but the Mastermind is still waiting for your final confrontation.
Zordon stated. Is Duras gonna be okay? Dante asked.
He is waiting in a holding cell until after. He will remain there until we can help revive his universe. Everyone deserves a home. Even if we are not successful, we should find him somewhere he can live.
Zordon explained.
Alright, Zordon. Let Ace know we are ready.
Jason told his mentor. William and Takeshi stood there in the land without time and space, staring into the darkness. We should not have been so open, Takeshi snapped. Shut up! We almost lost everything. And with this David figure running around, we had to play it safe. Rules are meant to be broken. And right now, an entire multiverse hangs in the balance. Besides, from all of this devastation, a new multiverse, well, an old multiverse, could be saved. Reborn, if you will. But enough of that, until later, William replied. Both their eyes glowed white and they both started weaving their hands around. Every single floating rock platform came together and collided, connecting like a Subterra puzzle piece, creating one massive island bigger than any piece of land found on Earth. It stretched out for as long as a normal eye could see. A portal opened and Ace walked out, followed by Jason, Mark, Dante, and Jacob. William and Takeshi suddenly became cloaked in their white-hooded long mystery trench coats with their hoods up hiding their true identities. We are ready, Ace said. Good. Now remember, this fight is yours. We cannot get involved. When he is defeated, you'll forget this place, and what you've seen here. And you will not know our existence until it is completely necessary. That was the deal, William told them.
We understand. But remember the deal. We clean up your mess, and we get to meet your boss,
Jason stated. I am no Shinon, Jason. I hold my end of the bargain, don't you worry, William hissed. So we start in Universe 20 and work our way through until we beat him, Dante asked. That is the plan, yes, and now he waits for you, William stated. The 5 heroes walked through the portal and entered Universe 20. Universe 20 had completely gone back to normal. But there, floating in the sky, was the Puppet Master himself. The one who showed Duras how to do everything he did, and everything he could do. The one who stole the mechas from the land of out time and space. The one who helped William create multiple ranger teams, including Dante himself, and aided other rangers when needed. The master behind the end of the multiverse floated there. William's first interaction with the 4 heroes echoed throughout their mind. Duras is being manipulated by an individual who knows, well, me, Takeshi, and Ace. He was my loyal subject for a while. He did everything I asked. We cannot really be seen, you see. The less we show our faces, the better, especially if people find out what our mission is. So I plucked somebody from the universe and bestowed upon them the powers of a morphing master, William explained. Oh my god! The silver morphing master! That was you? Dante blurted. He took a step forward, rage and confusion now stunned him. Yes, the silver morphing master was my own design. Sadly, he used what he learned to take revenge on the multiverse. I have sworn to protect her well. He also stole the mechas. They were once the long and lost machines by something called Super Sentai. Something that predates Power Rangers. From a multiverse long forgotten, my base of operation housed their dead remains. He must have somehow fueled them with some form of unknown, untraceable energy source, because I cannot figure that part out, William stated. Jason, Jacob, Mark, Dante, and Ace stood before their greatest foe. One who knew everything about them, literally helped make Dante become a ranger, helped forge Mark's path. The one who with the powers of a morphing master. The silver morphing master awaited for the final battle.
What you have just listened to is a product created by the Three Ranger Bros Studio.
Hosted by three cosplaying fathers who
happen to be massive geeks of all sorts of fandoms.
They are Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger,
Cosplay Dude 637,
and Ty Tiger.
The studio covers different types of YouTube videos, TikToks, podcasts, and live streams.
If you wish to find out who cosplays who, the YouTube channel, the TikTok accounts, and the podcasts, and all of the other social media platforms,
please go to the 3rangerbrostudios.com.